Alright guys, welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup here. I'm here with the guys as per usual. And me, I am Chris Time, aka Chris's team, aka number one on the pecking order. And I got my guys here, dudes. I have warm-up experience and I have Kev up in the building. Say what's up to the YouTube crowd, guys.
What's up?
What it do?
Cool. And if this is your first time, this is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything else through the lens of Black culture. So, man, let's get right to it. Dame time. Like, I'm not gonna go through the nights. Dame time. Is he MVP? Number one, I would say this: 29 points per game, 4.3 rebounds, 8 assists. He's also second in the league in scoring, and he is holding down for the Portland Trail Blazers while they're out. And we saw him in the All-Star game. So let's just talk about it. Does he deserve to be in the MVP conversation? Kev, you got something?
I say yes. I would say yes. He deserves to be in it, but we get into it when we get into it. There's been talk about who he should be above. Mm-hmm. Maybe that'll be the topic of discussion, but definitely he deserves to be in the conversation. He's been killing it, and he's been doing it with injuries to his main 1-2 punches and stuff like that. So definitely he deserves some credit for that, and just being scoring like a phenom right now. So, and rebounds and assists, it was a little bit surprising to see him on the rebounds like he is right now. 4 point something is not like great, but for a point guard, that means you're still active. And his assists is still up there too, right up there with LeBron's and anybody else who you would consider a great passer. So all in all, he's doing his thing.
Cool. Appreciate that. Dude, you got something? Is he in? Should he be in?
Like Kev's point about who he should be over. But honestly, to me, it's not even a question, man. Dame is in there, no doubt. I'm looking at the stats now. Just for a point of reference, Dame's played 38 games. The next two best players on Portland, McCollum and Nurkic, they both played 14 and 12 games respectively this season, man. Dame's still doing this. Yeah, he's in there. It's not even a question. Automatic.
All right, warm up. Experience.
The warm-up experience.
I believe y'all love the name, man.
So when you said is he MVP, I have to say I don't know about that one. But is he in the running for sure? Like, it was a little bit surprised to me even looking at the stats, just seeing how much he did with as little as he had. Seeing a lot of clutch game-winning shots. I'd like to see more closing out of games and less of that. But like, you really do love the clutchness and being able to execute like at that last play to bring the team to win. But I'd rather them just keep it out of the hands of the opponent rather than just rely on his clutchness all the time. But with what he's working with, whatever you can do to scrap and get those wins.
Forgot about that clutch. Forgot about the clutch points. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Last minute threes, hand in his face.
Yeah.
Hitting it from the logo. From the logo.
It's the logo.
Logo Lillard. But it's an interesting point that you brought that up, because if you ever notice, I know you noticed because you're a Heat fan, Jimmy Butler, he don't really be too active. But then when it comes down to the last 8 minutes of the game, that's when he starts
he starts trying to turn it over, make a big defensive play.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
So it's interesting that you say that, because that's the like the best time for Butler to, showcase his ability to impact the game in that amount of time. Like the first 3.5 quarters, he doesn't really, he facilitates. He does, a lot of other stuff. So it's interesting that you say that.
But the point there is closing out. It's not he got the last game winning. It's doing the things that need to be done to take the game out of the opponent's hands. Yeah. With the big defensive play, and I would like to see more of that from the Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Less 50-50 gambles, or even less than 50-50, because they're tough shots.
I like how you said see more of that from the Trailblazers. So using like that as you holding Lillard back for that?
No. I think you're just saying.
I'm saying for the team to be in a better place. Like, it's great that he can do that, but you don't want to be relying on this logo shot at the last second.
Yeah. I feel you. So then
they're like, yo, Dame, shoot it from the locker room.
The fact that he can do it, to me, just puts him in that next level. But for the team to win a series, you don't want to have to rely on it. That's all.
Yeah, and that's fair. That's actually, again, playoff time, people start to lock in and double team him at the half court line and get the ball out of his hands just because they know that he can do that. So that's the first thing you do, get the ball out of his hands, and now you got to get the ball back, and it becomes a big thing. And if you can't rely on your other players to knock down shots, then you got to be the guy to bail him out all the time. That becomes a problem. I can see that. So let me ask this then. We know that, we all said that he's deserving to be in the race. Where y'all want to put him? Number 1, number 2, above LeBron, below Steph Curry, Embiid? Where y'all put him? Where do y'all put him?
I know where he's at, and I can't argue with it. Like I think he's number 4, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Number 4,
right behind
According
LeBron.
to Kia, yep.
I could see him being at number 3 right now, just because of the little, the challenges the Lakers are going through right now. But LeBron is still playing at a high level and getting them wins or keeping it as close as he can without, his big man by his side. But I could see an argument for either one. I still think Jokic and Embiid, they're doing a lot to be up there. I think the spots are a little solidified. We'll see how Embiid comes back from the injury. I know the team's kind of struggling a little bit without him, but we'll see, man.
Okay. Anyone have any other takes on that?
I got it.
I agree with a lot of that. I'm just gonna say, I don't know what else to add to that, because it's really a tough argument. So I can see an argument for both. I think it would just be a preference thing at that point for me if I would have said LeBron. But again, looking at what he's doing, I can't take nothing away from him. So if you want to say hey, he deserves to be above LeBron, I'm gonna be he's doing his thing. LeBron is still averaging a little bit more in assists across the board, doing the whole game as he does.
LeBron has a heavier backpack. I agree.
Yeah. and defense too. I know we don't talk about defense for MVP, but being a two-way player also matters. And
he does.
LeBron has been, kicking it to the gear when necessary. To make those defensive plays. Yeah. So.
One thing I always forget to add. I just remember, we can't take this away. He's been doing it for how many seasons now, playing extended more games than anybody else, and just comes back and does it again.
LeBron.
Which one, LeBron or Dame?
LeBron.
I think the argument can be said for both.
No, I can't say both, because LeBron goes to the conference finals, to the championship.
True.
Yeah, the results are different. But
no. I'm not talking about the results. I'm talking about the amount of games that are being played.
Yeah.
And then you're the last man out.
Your first one,
and then season starts, and you carrying that heavy load again, and he's been doing it longer. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. They both go into the playoffs pretty much consistently. How far they get, it's here or there. They both have a very heavy load in the playoffs. Yeah. Those things are all true.
So let me think about this, because usually the Blazers get knocked out about the second round. That's probably May, mid-May they get kicked out. The NBA Finals is in June, so it ends probably May. So LeBron had a month extra. Just to kind of put it in perspective.
At least 8 tough games.
Yeah.
No, and that's if he's sweeping it up. It potential to go to Game 7.
So and he did that 8 years in a row at one point before the injury in LA his first year.
And he does it so effortlessly, you forget. It's just
he makes it look easy, man.
Yeah,
that happens when you got a big body. You're just strong out here. So
hey, but the Cavs question, man, where does he go? And the question we were talking about, I would reorder it, man. I would say 1, 2, 3, Embiid, LeBron, Dame. I love Jokic.
Okay.
We were talking about, Denver is stacked, man. Denver is stacked. Now I know the MVP, the race is always about the best team, the best record, the best player. I know what it is, man. But when I think MVP most valuable for that team, Portland would not be where it is without Dame. This is with same thing with LeBron. I think if you take LeBron off the Lakers, nah, man. And Embiid, same with Philly. So that's why I would do that 1, 2, 3. So pretty much, LeBron 2, Joker 4, and Lillard would be number 3.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I actually would have I would actually have Dame number 2, man.
Over
and
LeBron?
for all the things you said.
You're right, yeah.
Because LeBron is again, nothing to take away from his performance. Just the team is losing with him on the floor, with AD out, and with Shorter here and Caruso there.
Yeah.
Dame has been without his cast for a whole month at the shortest, and then at the longest, Nurkic has been out since the season started. Like the dude came into the new season, was like, oh, my back. So I don't know, man. And he's still with, like I said, that, you know, Western Conference is still tough. And
Lakers still have Harrell and other players that are stepping up and doing big things.
And so, you know, I would put him number 2 because Jokic, just like you said, the team is stacked. And I mean, again, it always goes back. And the crazy thing about MVP is it really depends on what the media wants to highlight. So if they really want to, really on the guy, they gonna be on the guy. Like that's what it is. So, but you know, I will look at it from a more contextual point of view, from like looking at the whole team and their impact and their wins. The Nuggets actually have regressed a little bit between last year and this year. Like they're not even top. Are they think top 4 maybe? They're not number 1.
And number 5 right
They're number 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like just last year, I think they're number 1, right? Number 1 or number 2 in the East.
Yeah, I think
in the West.
At one point.
Yeah.
At one point, yeah.
That's true.
I don't know if they finished that way, but yeah, definitely started off.
Yeah, so they're regressing, and I'm like, okay, so why are we giving Jokic these accolades for something that, you know, y'all should be ascending. Y'all should been together for 4 years, 3-4 years. So, I don't know.
The West is changing, man.
It could be the other team stepping up because we have, you know, y'all favorite bubble
the
team.
parity.
Y'all favorite bubble team is up there at number 3.
Who said
Suns, baby, the Suns.
The Clippers.
Only undefeated team in the bubble.
Clippers that kind of collapsed in the playoffs last season, and then the Jazz are playing at a high level.
Yeah, that's true. They finally came together, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
these
a
are
good
all
argument.
non-expectors. Yeah.
So, but I don't know, man. Like, as far as the, you know, only person who I can really see myself really putting up there above Dame right now is Embiid. And you can't knock him for being injured. Okay, fine. Mm-hmm. Now, if he's out for an extended amount of time, well, now it's
changes.
it's just about the number of games that if Dame continues on his projections, then I would put him over Embiid, but that's just a matter of circumstance.
But he's supposed to be back it's a 2-week injury.
It's a 2-week injury. But you know, he's always had issues with his knees too, so
we'll see how he is when he gets back.
We see how he is when he comes back. So hopefully, man, he'll just stay out the club, stay out the cars, the tight cars, quit bowling, whatever Embiid does on his spare time. But anything else y'all want to add on the Dame topic? I think we kind of got him at number 2/number 3.
Yeah.
So
with y'all do y'all reorder, which I don't know if I'm shoving Jokic out at the paint quite yet. Because I think if Jokic was out of there, that team would definitely slide down.
I believe so.
I do understand, like, you have a Murray that could give you those 50-point games, 40-point games,
and Michael Porter
and Michael Porter. And I understand that they got a team, but Jokic is still doing crazy things.
Oh no,
that assist, that eye. Oh my god.
Yeah. Now the dude does have, like, I think he is the best center. Actually, I think he's better. He's more skilled than Embiid, to be honest with you.
Skill-wise,
he's more skilled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Skills.
I think Embiid's just a beast, bro.
Yeah, physical beast. Yeah.
So, Shaq and Hakeem all over again. So yeah, we'll leave it at that, man. Good topic, man. I'm still buying on Dame. Y'all buying Dame? Y'all still buying it, or y'all selling it?
I see why y'all buying, bro. I'm gonna wait for the dip to buy.
That was too expensive.
I ain't buying at the high. Yeah.
I'm holding.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm buying Dame like GameStop, man.
Okay.
Yo, you in there? You trying to get the squeeze?
Do streets bets. So, all right, cool. All right, well, let's move on, man. We had an interesting conversation that we want to talk about, and we did not have a clear answer, so we are at odds. The Brooklyn Nets, we got 3 superstars and a pending ex-superstar in Blake Griffin. Whose team is it? Is it Harden? Is it KD? Is it Kyrie? Does it need to be a number 1 guy? Does it need to be, everyone's a coach? We don't know. So let's just start off, man.
Everyone's a coach.
Whose team is the the Brooklyn Nets? Or do they even need to have one? Because I know that's an option too. So,
whoever got the sage, baby.
So this is what I would define as whose team it is. The most impactful, the person who's the leader of the team, where whatever they say, everyone follows, or who can impact the culture the best in a way that is going to either be beneficial or detrimental to a team, because it could be detrimental, right? We've seen some teams that,
based on that criteria, man.
I don't think I don't feel confident in one of those criteria. I think,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think they need all three. As you saying it, I'm like, I don't think
with that definition, I was like, not one of them.
So okay,
I would see I think Kyrie could kind of derail the train, but he didn't. So it seems like he has the support and understanding of his teammates. Because we saw a couple things earlier in the season that we had us thinking like, are they gonna make it and pull through? And they seem to have a good synergy amongst themselves. No, I don't see a front runner that's kind of just like, I feel like it's almost like a group of friends that you have a dynamic where it's not necessarily one's a leader, but one's more laid back. One always be doing some weird shit. And the other one just be there. Like, I feel like Harden's there. It's not like he's just there like he doesn't care, but it's just kind of like he's there, like whatever needs to be done. I'm here, I'm playing, I'm gonna do my thing. And Kyrie just be doing some funny stuff, and then KD's just like, that's crazy. KD's doing KD thing. So like, temperament, I don't see it.
I feel like, Chris, I want to change the criteria.
That's fine.
Please.
We can change it.
Yeah, because when you did it that way, I was like, damn, that changes my whole answer, man.
Yeah. So I know we were talking about like defining it, so I just threw it out there as a definition.
No, I like that. So I was thinking about it more. Let me make sure I speak right. When it comes down, I like your point about the leader, what they say goes. Also, crunch time, right? So to quantify crunch time. Tight game, say last 2 minutes. Crunch time?
Whatever the NBA defines as clutch time, because I think it's like 5 minutes between like
5 minutes
with a 5-point swing or something like that. I think it's clutch time.
Yeah, so the last 5 minutes, close game. Say it's tied going into 5 minutes ending. Who is controlling that game? Now they don't necessarily have to get the ball, but who is the other team really focused on? You know what I'm saying? Like, who does other team really think they got to shut down?
Problem.
Yeah,
that's their problem.
I think that defines whose team.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I don't think you can look at who the defense needs to worry about, because if that's the case, then he's just a little one-dimensional.
The hottest player
and different defenses have different weaknesses.
Okay,
too.
all right, then I'll take that back. Then who's gonna have the say in what that team's gonna do?
Yeah, but actually, if you will allow me to, can I amend what you're trying to say?
Let's mansplain it.
Scale it. I'm a mansplain this.
Mansplain.
No, but I was just saying, like, or I was just thinking, like, maybe the person who is, having the most impact in those crunch times, so you may not be scoring, but you could be doing,
Jimmy Butler things.
So you could be doing.
Thus far, that's looking like Harden to me.
That's probably looking like Harden to me too.
That's hard.
Damn, yeah.
I mean, he's been the one who's taking control at the end, but Kyrie didn't play recently, so he's been out, and they've been handing off. Like, sometimes you see Kyrie take it down, and maybe, or even Harden. Let's say Harden first, and then maybe things ain't working out, or maybe Kyrie taking it down and things ain't working out. I've seen them actually like consciously swap. Like, you take a turn, and I'm like, oh, look at them. They actually like recognizing when, okay, I've tried. Here, take a turn, and it's been happening that way so far, and I think it's both of them is going to be, at least while KD's out, is going to be the person who will take over at the end of the game. But Harden has been the number one guy though. He's been having the ball in his hand to make the decision.
And the assists are looking crazy. He's still scoring. He's not scoring as much as he did when he was on the Rockets.
He doesn't have to.
Which is good, actually.
It might help his energy in the playoffs, man.
That too.
Yeah.
Damn. The more you guys talk about it, I'm starting to change my stance. Maybe the Nets might be the first team that can have that shared system, because I think about Miami's first years.
Thank you, Deuce.
Because it was a battle between LeBron and D-Wade. I won't say it was a battle, but D-Wade was like, no, here, LeBron. And LeBron was like, no, here, D-Wade.
Yeah, it was a hot potato situation.
There was no pecking order, so nobody else knew what to do. Same thing with the Warriors. When KD went over there, the Warriors like, hey, KD, we're going to make room for you, right? Because you're KD. Here, crunch time, KD, right?
Objection. Clay said he ain't giving up shit when KD.
He did say that. I remember
he did say that. And he didn't, but Clay is seamless, man. Like, Clay, he's not a ball hog. You can put him in any system, right? But Steph changed up his game for KD.
Yeah, I think
So-
Steph struggled the most out of everybody when KD got there.
Yeah, but it was
Which was-
better for the whole team because it was stronger.
Oh,
with KD.
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
So-
definitely.
Maybe the Nets might be different and where you don't have to do that. So the way you guys described it, all right.
So
And
this
I
is
like your openness.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
Yeah,
I like your
there you
openness.
go.
'Cause
Yeah.
a lot of conversation has been what was done. A
Yeah.
team has never made it with this. A team has never been this low in defense, and
Mhm.
and a lot of historic talk, which is cool. I understand, but things change.
Yeah.
Playoffs is a test. Is
It's
that
a
gonna
test.
work? Yeah.
I agree with you on that too. It is a test, so
Yeah.
we kind of have to wait and see. And honestly, even if they fail the test, you know what that means, right? Like failures lead to success. Like we have to kind of like
Yeah.
struggle sometimes. So I wouldn't even cut them out after that. Like I
Mhm.
wouldn't be like, oh, here's all the guys, and they were right about Nets. They were right about Still
Mhm.
one season, still
Mhm.
one playoff run. Let's see what happens next.
I think just like the Warriors when KD was there, different players on the team are gonna have different strengths and different moments that they bring to the game as a whole. Draymond brings what he brings to the game, that tenacity, that grit, that energy. You know, Clay, that third quarter, that point scoring, that lockdown defense, Steph Curry, those tough shots, that energy that just brings them into the game where he's doing effortless things, easy offense. KD, he can hit the tough shots. Defenders don't like. What is he gonna do? What made it crazy when KD got there is before they used to just pass around. Somebody's gonna take the shot. Maybe Draymond tries to make something work. Maybe they're taking a mid range, but like they hit it to KD and he's just gonna drive in there and dunk it, or back somebody down and hit that jumper. It's just like there's so many weapons.
That wasn't. I mean, I hear your point, and like I know before we started recording, Chris
Yeah.
made the point. We're not talking about like the crew or like their support staff or the team.
Yeah.
Just, I guess even before KD got to the Warriors, right? The whole system was predicated on Curry and his long range shooting. He freed up everybody else. So I want to say freed them up, made their jobs a little bit more easier. Let me put it that way. So we knew it was Steph's team. He might not lead in scoring that night, but because of the pull he had on the defense, he allowed everything to happen.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
facts.
Yeah, I will say this, and I understand because Kevin just mentioned about the whole like historical thing.
Yeah.
And
No, go ahead. Still
Go
like
ahead,
it.
man.
But I just appreciating what Dude said. At least still need to look at history to learn
Yeah.
something. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
and I think that's kind of where I'm coming from, and I think that's the reason why I feel like they are going to have problems. I'm not saying that they won't succeed or overcome those problems. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they're easy out.
Where your
I'm
crystal
saying,
ball is?
Definitely
Where your
not,
crystal
yeah.
ball at?
Yeah.
Is it on your table? Is it
No,
on your
no,
table?
man.
Let me see that crystal ball.
I threw it out when Heat made the finals.
Wow.
So I gotta be a new one. No, I don't know.
Number 4, baby.
But no, what I'm saying is that like we look at teams, hot teams in the past. We look at teams that has a lot of star power, and sometimes we see the leadership or the pecking order kind of show itself or show the fragility in the team and in that person whose team it is, hypothetically speaking, as they try to like close out games. And we already know like playoffs is a different beast from season. You can kind of go in, see who's hot, and then you go to the next city and do a rinse and repeat for 82 games, and then playoff comes. But when it comes down to the playoffs, we've seen it with like OKC with Durant and Westbrook. Like it was supposed to be Durant's team, but people kind of felt like Westbrook was the
Aggressor.
Outspoken one.
the alpha. Like he wanted to be the alpha so bad.
Yeah.
But I know they understand that's like all media play and all that. But like, because you ask them, they'll be like, man, we just trying to play, like blah blah blah. But
Yeah, probably, yeah.
But we knew that at the end of the day, if Durant wasn't getting the ball, he's gonna be a little bit upset because like he should be getting the ball in crunch time. And I understand like that's just where he's most effective, like his scoring.
Correct.
We've seen the breakdowns with Clippers, CP3 era, and not to say he's a bad player, but we've seen where his ability to lead kind of starts to crumble at times, and not to knock him as a player. I think he's still a Hall of Fame player. It's just when it came down to it, he couldn't elevate his team, and maybe because of stature, maybe because.
I think with CP3, he's like the extreme of what we're talking about. He's a very structured player. He brings structure to every team he comes with. And I think some people kind of bristle at his leadership style, like you said.
But every team he's been in, with the exception of this team with Phoenix, and also Harden's team, the Houston team, it's been Chris Paul was the main attraction. He was the main guy on the team. Blake Griffin or David West or all these other people were kind of
even that OKC team that he drugged to the playoffs.
Even that OKC team. But
future presentations.
So we've seen it. We've seen the maturation between LeBron and D-Wade, where D-Wade basically just had to lock him with a basketball in the closet, saying, "This is your team until you come out. You're not coming out until you come out and saying it's your team." He had to force it, and I understand the mentality behind that. The only time I can really think about like a team that it wasn't anyone's clearly defined team was probably the Detroit Pistons, who have been an anomaly in every other situation. Like they've always been an anomaly in a lot of cases. But if you really wanted to look at it, the spiritual leader of it was Rasheed Wallace. If you really just want to look at it, everything embodied Rasheed Wallace's, or Larry Brown. If you want to.
You mean when they won? Pistons? When they won?
Yeah, when they won.
Is that Pistons?
Pistons, yeah. This is the crazy part. KD, Kyrie, and Harden have not played that many games together. And I don't, with 1 to 2 people out, you can always rely on the third, and they usually like put up big numbers. And this is kind of what my angle of it was. It's like you haven't really seen them gain that on-court chemistry, or that team chemistry, to where they know where the other person's going to be at. Especially again, playoff time come, you need to know where your people are, like whatever. And so when things are going well for them now, so obviously like everything's good, so everyone's happy. But when things get a little tough, who's gonna be the one? Who's gonna be the one? Be like, hey, this is the direction we're going. We're going in this direction. Follow me.
I think it's like an investment group, right? You guys like partners.
Yeah.
Like a partnership. We're gonna talk about it, discuss it, and figure out what's best in the situation. Warmup and I talked about this last time, where it's very situational. You have 3 guys, and those are 3 options. Depending on what the defense is playing that night, depends on who is on or off that night. Maybe Kyrie's a little bit on more than Harden, or vice versa, and KD. And you make your decision as a coach who's gonna have the ball at that end, or what play we're gonna run, based on all of those factors.
Sure.
So at the end of the day, it's just who's the guy is gonna be like. It's like, how are we gonna get this win? Not really like the question is who's the guy. It's like how are we gonna get this win? And then based on how we figure that out, who's the guy to best get us that? We need a 3. Who can we make open easier for the 3? Oh, they've been on Harden really tight tonight. Let's cut KD off of a screen on a curl, get him open. Or you know what? They've been slacking on Kyrie on the undercuts or whatever. And you do your thing, you coach.
I don't know. I feel like Chris asking a scary question, because I can't find an answer for that one. When things are going wrong, who's gonna go in that huddle and say, "Hey guys, to settle down, this is what we're gonna do"? I can't see.
I can see Kyrie doing it. And I
Kyrie?
Can see KD. Yeah, I can see Kyrie doing it, and I can see KD doing it.
I don't see KD
Kyrie been
doing
very cerebral these days. So
I don't see
he's
KD
being very
doing
cerebral, but
I can see Kyrie doing it. I don't see KD doing it.
At least off the court communication hasn't been his strong point. So I don't know what on the court communication
on the court
looks
pretty
like.
Good. I see like how they've been talking, how they've been high-fiving, and how they've been like cheerleading one another, and on the sidelines you get a little bit of a clip here and then you see them really conversating, like very invested. You put it that way. But everyone looks very invested.
I would say things are relatively well right now.
Yeah.
Correct, and I agree with you on that.
When things are not going well, what does that conversation look like?
Yeah.
And in the past, like speculation, Celtics, even his departure from Cleveland. Like when things are not going, even in the Brooklyn Nets, we need more pieces. When things are not going well, at least off the court,
that's past Kyrie. I'm gonna stick with what's happening in the present, because, like you said, we haven't seen it. So if I'm gonna speculate, I'm gonna speculate positively, rather than like here's how they're gonna break down and here's all these bad things gonna happen, because they just can't.
Not how they're gonna break down, but who's gonna be the one if they are having adversity? Who's gonna be the one that can steer the course? That's
That's
the question I feel like I can't answer for them.
I feel like Kyrie and KD could do it based on just since we're only going off of what we know. All of the podcasts and all the conversations that they had off season and stuff. These guys are very much seeming to be like, in tandem. Like at least that's what it's appeared to be. So I don't see the discussion being that difficult for one of them, either one, to pull each other up and say, yo, it's time. We're not doing this right. We're not doing that right. We need to do this better or that better. I think like the Warriors too. Curry's starting to do that more now, even though Draymond is the guy. I'm seeing Curry shouting at people and getting all riled up, which we never really saw. Yeah, so it's like that's not to say Draymond is not going to do it anymore, or that's not to say.
And a strong coach. I think Steve Kerr is pretty strong.
He's a strong coach. Yeah. So two guys could be there doing it.
To Chris's point though, like they haven't played together. I know it's funny going off of Kev's history point, but last year that derailed the Clippers. That was part of the one of the things they highlighted, the fact that they hadn't played together.
So
I don't know if it was that they hadn't played together as much as people ain't show up. Even though like it even surprised us when we were like, oh yeah, Kawhi was there, and there's like, nah, Kawhi ain't show up. we were putting a lot on PG. That Clippers team just kind of fell apart.
Well, that's you talking about the playoffs. I'm about during the season. Like Chris has said, all three of them haven't played together thus far a lot. So during the season last year, the Clippers, PG, Kawhi, the team, the starting five didn't play together that much.
Yeah, but they were still playing. Whoever was playing at whatever time, they were playing well. They, finding synergy with role players. I was saying, I don't know if time together during regular season was the demise in the playoffs.
It's one of the things
because that's what you're kind of pointing at, like, oh well, they're not playing a lot right now in the season. So when we get to the playoffs, who knows what could happen with the Clippers?
Yeah.
And I just think the Clippers, I don't know if it was that time together that was the demise. It was just like a lot of not showing up.
But I do.
That's what PG. One of the things PG.
Yeah, I do remember that coming out a little bit. It's like
that they wasn't playing together much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they pointed or hinted towards the lower management is what they were trying to hint.
One thing, and as you notice, Kawhi's been playing more games this year as opposed to last year.
Yeah, man.
All the feel about that.
Injury-free now.
Some people. I know some people like their players on the bench, still in the box, mint condition.
Who?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Some people prefer. I don't know if it's some people on this call. Just saying. Some people.
Man, use it or lose it. Nice,
I'm trying to. Can you explain for the slow people in the back? Because I'm confused.
He's
talking about load management.
Yeah, are you in support of load management?
I'm in support of doing what's best for your career. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's wrap this up, man. Dude, you got anything you want to sign off with?
Hey, continue sending the love. Continue sharing it. Appreciate you guys.
Cool. Warm up.
Same here. Appreciate y'all checking us out, rocking with us. Hit that like, follow, subscribe, comment. Let us know who your MVP runner is. Do y'all think it's Dame? Are y'all buying like Christine? Let us know. Let us know what y'all think about who's leading this Rockets Nets team.
The Nets team.
Nets team. So
who's the leader?
We don't know who leading the Rockets either, man.
We don't know that either.
Good statement. Who's left?
All right, Kev.
Yeah, man, thanks for rocking with us as always. Appreciate your time. You know we have other ways to spend it, so when you spend it with us, much love. Mm-hmm. Have a good whatever it is right now when you're watching it. Good day or good night.
Yeah, definitely.
Kev always has an elegant sign off, man. It's always something that's
positive,
elegant all the time.
Period.
Black Ellen DeGeneres out here. Smile and be happy. Be nice.
When he's off the camera.
I know, right? Don't look at me. Like, and this is Chris's team, man. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe, share. Follow us on the media platforms. If you have questions on topics that you want us to touch on, please hit us up in the various ways. Again, like and comment and tell a friend to tell a friend. And on that note, man, we'll let everyone ride out into the sunset, and we'll see y'all like next week or something. So, all right, guys, later.